Have you ever wondered how someone could disappear completely on a deserted highway without a trace? Stories like these pique our curiosity and provoke a mix of fear and fascination. What happens in these remote places where silence and darkness seem to hide disturbing secrets? Today, we will explore real-life cases of mysterious disappearances that defy logic and leave even investigators perplexed. Who were these people? How did their stories come to such an abrupt end, or never come to an end? Each story will take us deeper into a mystery that may never be fully solved. Ready to start unraveling what the highways hide? Ever since highways began to crisscross vast landscapes, they have been the scene of unexplained disappearances. Some highways, especially those in remote regions, carry an aura of mystery. The solitude, isolation, and lack of witnesses make these places prone to disturbing events. According to statistics, thousands of disappearances occur on highways every year. Many are explained as accidents, escapes, or even premeditated crimes, but others remain unsolved, fueling the popular imagination. Deserted and poorly lit roads are the perfect stage for creating legends, and sometimes these legends seem to come to life. The challenges faced by investigations in these cases are immense. The lack of cameras, the time it takes for a disappearance to be noticed, and the difficulty of gathering evidence in hard-to-reach places create gaps that are almost impossible to fill. In addition, each case presents peculiarities that make solving it even more complicated. In this video, we will explore stories that illustrate exactly how these factors combine to turn disappearances into mysteries that defy logic. Stories that reveal not only the dark side of highways, but also the fragility of our understanding in the face of the unknown. In the 1990s, one of the loneliest highways in the United States became famous for a disappearance that still intrigues investigators and curious people today. On a cold winter night, Lisa Harris, a 23-year-old college student, was returning home after visiting friends. She texted her mother that she was on her way, but she never arrived. Authorities found Lisa's car parked on the side of the road, with the doors locked and the headlights still on. Inside were her purse, cell phone, and a cup of hot coffee. There were no signs of a struggle, and no tracks to indicate where she might have gone. The road, surrounded by dense forests and known for its low traffic at night, offered few clues. Witnesses reported seeing the car parked around 9 p.m., but no one noticed any suspicious activity. Over the next few weeks, extensive searches were conducted by helicopters, sniffer dogs, and dozens of volunteers, but no trace of Lisa was found. The mystery only deepened when investigators noticed shoe prints just a few feet from the road, which abruptly disappeared into nothingness. Some suggested kidnapping. Others speculated that she had gotten out of the car of her own free will, perhaps to help someone in trouble. However, no concrete evidence ever emerged. Lisa's case has become one of the most iconic in the region, fueling theories ranging from a human predator attack to supernatural explanations. The highway where it all happened has earned the reputation of Disappearance Road, and Lisa has become a symbol of the questions that remain unanswered. On a rainy October night in 2014, trucker Miguel Romero was on a routine trip along an isolated road in the Mexican countryside. The route was familiar, but that night, something strange happened. Miguel reported seeing a small car pulled over to the side of the road, with his hazard lights on. He slowed down, worried about the possibility of an accident, but what he saw as he passed the vehicle left him perplexed. Inside the car, two figures were sitting in the front seats, motionless, staring straight ahead as if petrified. Miguel tried to stop to offer help, but when he looked in the rear-view mirror, he realized that the car was simply gone. Convinced that he had imagined the scene, he continued on his way. However, when he arrived at the next gas station, he told the attendant what had happened, who immediately turned pale. The man said that, years before, a couple had disappeared on that same road, exactly where Miguel had seen the car. The police found the vehicle days later, but the bodies were never found. Intrigued, Miguel returned to that stretch of road the next day, this time in daylight. To his surprise, he found tire tracks and fresh footprints near the place where he had seen the car. There was no explanation for the origin of the marks, as no one had reported the presence of vehicles in the area in the last 24 hours. The case of Miguel and the mysterious car has become one of the most curious stories in the region, gaining popularity among those who believe in the supernatural. Although local authorities have ruled out any connection with the couple's disappearance, the coincidence and unexplained details still intrigue residents and drivers who cross the road. After exploring the mysteries of unexplained disappearances, it is impossible not to reflect on what is really happening on the roads where these stories occur. Each of these cases shares certain patterns: remote locations, moments of poor visibility, and, often, the absence of concrete explanations. Are we simply dealing with coincidences? Or is there something darker at play? Disappearances on highways have been treated with skepticism by many, with explanations ranging from simple accidents to more complex theories involving elaborate crimes. However, the evidence often does not follow the conventions of logic. Witnesses reporting strange sightings or unexplained encounters, marks appearing out of nowhere, and the constant feeling that something is wrong all suggest that this may not be just a series of isolated events. For many investigators, the lack of clear clues in remote locations makes these cases even more challenging. Roads, with their long stretches of unsupervised roadway and low traffic, provide the perfect setting for something strange to happen without anyone noticing. The distance between points of interest and the lack of quick information mean that in many cases, investigations fail before they even begin, leaving many mysteries unsolved. In addition, there is the emotional impact that these cases have on families and local communities. Imagine the suffering of having a loved one disappear, without any explanation, without even a clue as to what really happened. For those left behind, the void left by their absence, coupled with the uncertainty, becomes a permanent anguish. And over time, these stories begin to turn into legends. What was once a personal tragedy becomes a shared narrative, fueled by new versions and assumptions. Stories like these take on a life of their own, creating a cycle of mystery that never ends, a constant doubt that perpetuates itself among those who continue to cross these roads. These patterns make us wonder: are the disappearances just the result of a chain of coincidences, or is there something beyond that, something that we cannot fully understand? We cannot help but consider that some explanations may be beyond our ability to understand, and perhaps the answers to these disappearances will never come to light. In 2020, a disappearance on a rural road in Northern California generated great repercussion, not only because of the mystery surrounding the case, but also because of the disturbing coincidence with previous disappearances. Maria Gonzalez, 29, was driving alone to visit her parents in a small town. She called her mother around 7:30 p.m., saying that she was only 30 minutes away. That was the last contact the family had with her. When Maria did not arrive, her parents began to worry and, after a few hours without news, they called the police. At first, the most likely explanation was a car accident. But when authorities investigated the location where Maria was last seen, they found no trace of her vehicle, only brake marks on the asphalt that appeared to have been made suddenly and desperately. The sniffer dogs followed a trail into the dense woods beside the road, but soon lost track. There was no sign of Maria, nor was her cell phone traced after the last point of contact. The case quickly became an unsolvable mystery, with divergent theories emerging. Some believed it was an unexplained accident, while others questioned whether Maria had been involved in some unknown situation before she disappeared. The most unsettling coincidence was when a local resident mentioned that, in previous years, he had seen the same scene. A car stopped abruptly in the road, followed by brake marks, and then nothing more. An unsolved case, seemingly with no direct connection to Maria's disappearance, but one that aligned disturbingly with the details of his own disappearance. The investigation continued, but with each passing day, less evidence emerged, and the mystery only deepened. The fact that the case is recent does not diminish the sense that something much larger, and perhaps more disturbing, is at play. Maria's disappearance has become just one of many other cases, leaving the question in the air. What really happens on those deserted roads where answers always seem to elude us? After exploring these enigmatic cases, it is impossible not to reflect on what really lies hidden on the roads where people disappear without a trace. The stories we share today are just a few of the thousands of mysterious disappearances that occur every year, many of which remain unsolved. These mysteries fuel our curiosity and make us question how far the truth may go, or if it actually exists. While investigators continue to search for answers, the reality is that many of these cases may never be solved. Questions continue to arise, without definitive answers, casting a constant shadow over the highways that cross our country. And so, these disappearances continue to be fueled by theories, rumors, and stories that multiply. Now, we want to know what you think. Is there something deeper going on these roads? Or are these cases simply unexplained tragedies? What are your theories about these disappearances? Leave your opinion in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and share it with your friends who are also interested in mysteries and investigations. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more videos like this one, where we explore the dark and unsolved side of the world around us. Until next time, keep investigating what lies beyond the visible. Now, the deserted road remains shrouded in mystery, with more questions than answers. What really happened to those who disappeared without a trace? Could the paranormal entity still inhabit these dark places, awaiting its next victim? If you are as intrigued as we are, be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this video. Keep exploring the mysteries that surround us, and, who knows, the next story to be told will be yours.